What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mo.J. This is For Life episode 6. Now, if your brain works like mine, you forgot For Life was even coming back on. I honestly thought the season was over with, man. Oh well. But it's not. But before we get into all that shenanigans, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of this, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Now, For Life is back. But let me give you a disclaimer. This is supposed to happen back when Aaron was really in prison, but they brought in the little C-19, you know what I'm saying? People wearing masks and stuff. So I don't know how they doing that, how they jumping back in time to do it, coming back to the future, back to the future. That's what this is going to be called. For Life, episode 6, Back to the Future. Today on Back to the Future For Life episode 6, this is at the beginning of the pandemic, so we're just now getting into it. They're showing us images around the world of C-19 whooping people's asses. RIPs, all of those that are lost. And we still, even today in America, hell, across the world, we still have people going out like nothing's going on. But for this, they're just showing the beginning of it and how it's affecting, which is going to obviously lead over into the prison system. We had this go on in real life, and they're going to show us how they deal with it on the show this episode. So there's no trial or anything, there's no case, but we're really going to be dealing on how can we adjust the prison system with this C-19 going on. Aaron moved out. We know Aaron is living at his office now just because he didn't know if he could really trust Marie, and he didn't know what was going on. So it was just best for them to have their distance. Marie, we know she works at the hospital, so she's giving out masks to her daughter, like, take this, you know, saying, be careful, only wear this for this long. They're giving you some helpful information, but everyone wear a mask. Then Marie and Aaron, they start talking. He's asking, hey, do you have all those, you know, saying, the references, the referrals to the plumber, the electrician, because he needs to, you know, get his office in living conditions. It's just an office that he has. So Marie, she has the information. She tells him it's on the kitchen table, but then she releases her financial information to him. Pretty much her bank statements, how much is owed for college for their daughter. The reason she's doing this is because she wants to be transparent with Aaron, and she wants to let him know, you can trust me. I'm not going to do anything. I really want this to work between us two. So Aaron is like, he's joyful about it, but he's like, you don't have to do all this. You don't have to rush into it because it's something I want. But she's like, this is what I want to do. Now she's getting ready to head off to work. She brings in the daughter. They get a good hug in because, hey, that C-19 is no joke. And you're really risking your line. The first line workers, the first responders, all the essential workers, they're really risking their lives. I used to be a responder. I was a first responder when I was in the military. Wallace pulls up because he needs to talk to Jamal. Once he gets to the prison, the front guard's like, hey, Wallace, yeah, about that. There's no visitors here. Aaron's like, I'm an attorney. I'm coming to see my client. And the guards letting them know, well, right now we're on lockdown because of this C-19. Everything's locked down. Like no one can leave their cells and stuff. And Aaron's like, wait, if they're doing this, why wasn't I informed? Why don't I know anything about this? But the prison's not going to send out a mass text. Hey, if you're coming to visit, you know what I'm saying, don't come this day because we're on lockdown. But pretty much what this is giving us a foreshadow of is each of the inmates are locked down and they don't have access to any phones to let family members know what's going on in the inside of the prison. That's some shady stuff. So Aaron's stuck outside like, what the? I don't know nothing about this and they won't let me in. So who does he call? The old warden. And the reason he calls her is because she's going to have the connection. So he's, hey, you got any connections that can figure out what's going on inside of here? And for her, she's like, shoot, I've been off, you know what I'm saying? I've been kicking it with my daughter. I ain't really up for this, Aaron, but yeah, let me make a few calls. I'm gonna see what I can get because that's odd. They won't let you in, even if you're an attorney. But that's what I was telling you guys a minute ago. There's something shady going on. She gets on the call and she makes a call to one of her close connects. And what she tells her is the only way we're gonna be able to combat what's going on in that prison, we're gonna have to release some inmates. That's the only way. You gotta socially distance. And we know in a prison, these little bitty cells, people are bunking up. There's no social distancing in there. It's just sit in your cell with whoever you got and thug it out. Now we got Henry back in the office. He's doing work with the assistants. They in there socially distanced. Now they get close to each other. They're like, ew, back up, 6 feet. But they're working in here with no mask on, so it's defeating the whole purpose anyway. But Aaron calls him and he's trying to figure out, hey, I can't get in there. Now, Henry and the assistant, they're doing some work. And she's like, hey, Henry, they shut the phones down without warning anybody. Henry's like, they did this 4 days ago. Something must have went wrong. Something must have happened in there for them to be on alert. Like, oh, shut everything down. Don't let anyone make any calls. Like I said, man, this prison, just like the prisons in real life, it's shady stuff going on behind those walls, and they can keep it within those walls because they don't have to release any information for the most part. So Henry's like, something's going on in there. I need to let Aaron know. Aaron gets a call because he's waiting on Jamal, but Jamal doesn't call him. It's his boy Walter. And Aaron's like, how did you get this phone? He's like, man, a guard left this phone in my room. They took Jamal, but I don't know where they sent him. He either got sick or got into it with a guard. So now Aaron is like, they took Jamal. Someone gave Jamal's phone to him, to Walter. There must be somebody on the inside that wants us to know what's going on. If a prison guard is taking one cell phone and giving it to somebody else, it's because they want that information to be released. But now Aaron needs to get inside and find out what it is because they took his client one, and without notifying the lawyer about that, that's pretty much illegal. He needs to be able to talk to his representation. So now we got to get inside this prison. Ex-warden, that's what we calling her, ex-warden. She on the phone, she making calls, she's doing what she's doing. She's using her connects, her resources to try to figure out what's going on. Now she makes a call and she's letting this gentleman know, listen, Aaron was denied access to see his client. That's illegal, you can't do that. Aaron's client was also removed forcibly from his cell. We don't know where he is. You can't do that. So I'm gonna be stepping in for Aaron, but I want to know, how do we get in there? How are we going to figure out what's going on? And this prison's on complete lockdown. We need to be able to get in there and talk to whoever's in there and figure out what the hell is going on. And this guy's like, you know what? You're right about that. I'm gonna make sure you guys get in there. We get into prison. Aaron's coming in. He's talking to some of the old guards. They have their masks on. So you're starting to see all of the C-19 actually take place. But the guards, they're just being cautious about it. Aaron asked one of the guards, how's your family? He's like, I wouldn't know. I sleep in the car because I'm here all day. And I potentially have a chance to be exposed. So I don't even go in my own house. I just sleep in the car. Once Aaron gets in, they start talking to the ex-warden. She's sitting down with her mask off. She gets ready to put it on. Aaron takes his off and they sit down. She starts going over the collars for dollars and all the work that he's doing. But Aaron is like, look, I'm not really here for all that. I got to get my best friend Jamal up out of here. They bring Jamal in, but when Jamal comes in, he's acting a little off. Like he's not open and welcoming to Aaron like he normally is. I know that they got to do the socially distancing. He doesn't have a mask on, but he comes in with his hands in his pocket, and Aaron's like, what's going on? Where are you at? But he just has this funny, yeah, it's like this isn't Jamal we know. So he's like, well, they sent me to solitary. I got agitated. I got into it with the guards, so I'm in there. So Aaron's like, this isn't the Jamal I know. When Jamal leaves, he keeps it short. He leaves, but when he turns, he drops a note out of his pocket. And Aaron, they both notice it, and he's like, okay, I gotta go pick this up. Once Jamal leaves, now Aaron has to talk to the guard to try to get him to leave. He goes over there after he gets the guard to leave and he picks up the note. And when he opens it, Jamal left a letter that says Xavier Burnell died of the C-19. You see, I'm seeing C-19 because when you say this word right here, they try to block your little channel. But someone died of C-19. So this is why Jamal was acting the way he was, because on the inside, these crooked guards, they are doing things. They are doing things they shouldn't be doing. They bring in the new warden and they ask him, hey, this guy Xavier, he passed away, but his family said they complained about him having a fever and he needed to go to infirmary 2 days before he died, but nothing ever came out of it. And the warden, of course, the warden is already at the top. So what goes on the ground floor, he's not going to know anything about. And I feel like he's genuine because he came off like, what's going on here? She was like, did you know anything about this? He's like, no, I didn't. That's going to be handled by the prison guards. Just like I was saying, the warden doesn't know what goes on a day-to-day basis on the ground level. So they're like, why didn't he get sent to the infirmary? The warden said, I told all the guards, anyone that has symptoms, sick, flu, code, whatever they have. If they have this potential chance of catching C-19, send them to the infirmary. But Xavier wasn't sent there. He died in his cell. Now, ex-warden, she's like, look, his family, they want to do an autopsy on it. And the warden's like, that can't happen because his dad wanted him cremated. So the prison got rid of the body before they could do an autopsy to even see if it was C-19. And this is the warden didn't know anything about this because when you're at the very top, y'all know how it is. You don't know the CEO. The CEO don't know you because you're a worker. That's just how it is. And unfortunately, these guards, they did something and got this man killed. Now they're talking to the doctor that's at the prison. And what they find out from the doctor is if anyone has a mild symptom, they need to come to the infirmary. But everyone's not getting that treatment. They only got a couple of people down there, maybe like 7, 13, I think they said. But they don't have enough tests for all of the inmates. But Aaron points out, y'all have enough tests for the guards? Something ain't right here. Something is not right. And we're going to get to the bottom of this. The warden starts bringing up how it is for us on the outside. Now, if you look around your room right now, wherever you're sitting at, if it's just you, you have your TV, you have your phone, you can communicate with family members if needed. You can't compare your regular life to how it is for people in prison. Now I know they committed crimes, but they're still humans and we still are obligated to treat them like humans. So Aaron's like, look, you removed all the phone privileges from each of these inmates. They can't contact their family and let them know what's going on because y'all took everything from them. But the warden, when you're rich and you're at the top, you really don't understand what's going on with. You're not in touch with us regular folk. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. You don't know what's going on. Aaron and ex-warden, ex-dub, they're sitting down and they're having a heart to heart. And Aaron's like, look, they're saying the way that I'm treating this, I'm bringing a prison mentality into it. Like, oh, we need to get out of here because the guards are doing us over. But Aaron's like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm actually following the law and I'm trying to make sure that everyone is safe. And he's telling ex-warden, when you were in charge, you actually listened to us. You actually cared what was going on with the inmates. And she's like, yeah, I know we're gonna have to figure this out together, but I'm not in there no more, so we gotta work with what we got. Marie works on the front line, so for her it's like, man, this is serious. Erin's in the prison with everything that's going on in there, and she knows how contagious this is, especially if you're in a small area, a lot of people, it's gonna move around. But what she's pretty much saying is, look, I'm working here, and if anything happens to me, it's really just leaving my daughter, my grandchild, my husband, and I don't want any of that to happen to me. But I know I have to do my job because that's what I'm here for. And you see this with everybody now. It's still going on today. Hey, it's a tough job, man. It's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. These are the real heroes, the essential workers. Here we go. Here we go. Now they bring in Des O'Reilly. Now we know he's the DA and he's been against Aaron, but at the same time, he's like, okay, I see what Aaron is trying to do. Now they bring him in and he has a proposition for them. Listen, if you really want to help out here, what we can do is we can remove 7% of the population, meaning about 135 people out of the prison and let them go, say, and be at their house so they're at a less risk of being exposed. With this going on, Aaron, he's like, wait, so y'all gonna release prisoners, but you're not gonna let us see what's going on? No, 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 we're not gonna do that. Matter of fact, we're gonna sue the prison because y'all doing all this wrong. Unless you let us see the prison rep, Hassan, and let us talk to him and see what's really going on the inside. Because you guys aren't giving us the information of what's really going on. But if we talk to him, we don't want any prison guards in here. And these cameras, they got to be gone. We want to be able to talk to them because y'all are violating human rights in here. The prisoner rep, Hassan, comes in and he starts explaining to them what's going on. As a prison rep, he's supposed to be able to see what the well-being of each inmate is. He's supposed to be able to walk the block, see if they have any problems, any issues. But he's been denied that. So they just been in their cell. He said some people have been double bunk still. Some people are by themselves. They don't get 3 meals a day no more. They get 1 meal and it's triple calories. They're supposed to ration it. Could you imagine getting 1 meal and they talking about, hey, you better make that last all day. That's how these dudes are living. We ain't even. Man, that's ridiculous. But that's how they're living. And like I said, there's some shady stuff going on. Now the investigation begins. Aaron, they're on strict lockdown. Now they can't enter and leave the prison anymore. So Aaron has to call Marie and tell her, hey, look, I'm probably going to be staying here tonight because we got some serious things going on. And I need to be here for this. I already called my PO. Hey, the PO is actually cool. Like, all right, Aaron, do your thing. He actually fought for Aaron to get him to stay there. Now he just asking Marie for he's asked sorry about that. He's asking Marie for permission to stay the night. And Marie's like, look, be safe, but I don't want you walking the jail cell. I don't want you walking that. Just stay in the room that you're in because I don't want you exposed to any of that. Now um, she's the healthcare expert, so she knows a little bit more than Aaron. And Aaron's like, all right, I'm gonna stay tonight. Aaron and the ex-warden, they end up staying in the little meeting room, the visiting room where you meet the inmates. Now, they bring Aaron a, I don't know why they did this. They brought Aaron a uniform, and he looked at that like, oh, I'm not wearing that. I'm not putting back on a prison uniform after I done got out and I'm freed. So Aaron's like, man, this is gonna be a tough night. It's gonna be a tough night. Your first night back in prison, but this time you're free, but you're not free because you're stuck in the prison and you can't leave on your own. It only gets worse here. Now, Aaron, they meet up with O'Reilly. They meet up with the warden. Ex-warden comes in there too, and they watch the actual footage. Now, in solitary, this is where Jamal is. This is also where Xavier died. And you see the guards, they looking in the window, and you can tell that something went wrong. All three of them went over there, they're looking. Xavier died in his cell from C-19. And they didn't do anything to help him. They didn't send him to the infirmary. They're putting all the sick people in solitary. That's why Jamal was acting the way he was, because he's in there and inmates are dying. And these guards ain't doing nothing. And the warden, he's shocked now. Now he's looking at it like, oh my God. If this gets released, we about to lose a lot of money because there's going to be a lot of families suing us. I wouldn't be surprised if every member in this jail sues the jail. Aaron promised that he wouldn't walk the cell, so X-Dub, X-Warden, whatever you want to call her, she actually walks the floor and she sees how everybody's living. Some people are bunked up. Some people in there like, man, we ain't got no mask. We ain't got nothing. We just in here. And it's sad. It's sad how they got them. Like I said, I know they're criminals. They may have committed a crime, but they're still human. You have to treat them like humans. Criminal or not, you still gotta. A lot of these people in here for nonviolent offenses. They go to solitary. They get Jamal out of the solitary. They're gonna put him back on the regular cell floor. But now they gotta question the guards. You seen a man die in there. He had flu, and y'all didn't do anything. Now this cop, he gets irate, and he starts to talk about Aaron like, "Oh, you're one of them. You're a prisoner. We let you out." So pretty much when someone gets defensive like that, and they change it from the topic that we're actually talking about, you know they didn't effed up right. You know you didn't effed up right. Your job is probably going to be gone. You probably ain't gonna be able to work anywhere. You might get hit with murder, depending on the charges that are pressed against you. Now, it turns out the officer also says that he did this because of the union. Now, if you're unfamiliar with a union, pretty much a union, when you join a union, they cover your ass. No matter what you do, you can do the worst thing possible. But if you're under that union, they gonna do everything they can to cover you. Now, the union, from the top all the way down to the bottom, say, hey, keep the guards and keep the inmates in here because if anything happens, we don't want anything to happen to you because we work for you guys, the officers, not the inmates. But ex-warden, she comes in there and she tells Dad straight up, listen, 7% ain't enough. It's about 1,700 people in here, 100 people, that ain't enough. Now, O'Reilly's like, look, okay, we can do 15%. It'd be about 365 people. But if we release this amount of inmates, Aaron, you got to drop your case on the Meals on Wheels and against the New York Police Department. So Aaron's like, all I work for. But if it means helping out some inmates, it's a tough decision. But you got to really think about getting rid of corruption or saving lives. Now it's all on Aaron's shoulder. Aaron gets on the phone with Marie. He's standing outside the jail and he's talking to her and like, look, baby, everything we went through, all that BS, Let's squash. I just want you to come home safe. I want to work on me, you, our child, our grandchild. I want us to be together. And Maria's like, oh, thank you, Aaron. I do too. Wait, are you outside? You are? Oh, can I see the buses leaving with all your brothers? Aaron should have been like, they ain't my brothers. I'm just helping them out. But Aaron goes ahead and decides to let's let the inmates be released. 3, 5, 4. We got 354 inmates leaving, going home to be with their family. Now, it looks like Aaron chose lives over crime. Hey, sometimes it be like that, but I'm pretty sure he's going to find a backdoor or loophole to still go ahead and follow up with those officers. All right, there you go. Episode 6 of For Life, aka Back to the Future. But let me know what you think below about how the prison guards were treating the inmates in there. Do you think that was right or wrong? I mean, I know they're criminals, but they're still humans. Let me know below. But hey, thanks for watching. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit your subscribe button. Definitely hit your like button. I forgot to tell y'all at the beginning, 2021, engagement all the way up. But thanks for watching. We'll be here next week for Life. I'm Mo.J. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.